Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really pretty card using Stampin' Up's Jar of Flowers, which is my stamp set of the week this week. And I'm also using Go-To Greetings. Since Jar of Flowers doesn't have any sentiments, I like to pair it with something that is all sentiments. And Go-To Greetings is one of my favorite ones in the new annual catalog, just because it has so many different sizes of the different greetings. I'm also using as my card base I just blanked. Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. I don't know why I lost that. But this is awesome because you get the card bases that are pre-cut and pre-scored, and the fronts of them have all these beautiful patterns on them with our new in colors. I love all of these colors. They're so bright and cheerful and happy. Plus, you get the envelopes that coordinate with them. So you get 10 cards and 10 envelopes in each package. And aren't these beautiful? I love them. Okay, so, and then of course I'll also be using the in color twine and the in color Stampin' blends for this card. Alright, I'm going to just jump right into stamping. So I've mentioned on my blog a couple of times this week, I tend to repeat myself, that with every card that I'm making on my blog, I'm doing the jar just a little bit differently. Okay, sometimes a lot differently, but usually just a little different, just to give you some options on how to use that jar stamp, and whether or not you want to do something complicated or really simple. This one's pretty simple. So first I'm inking up, I'm shaking my whole desk. I'm inking up my jar stamp just with some Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp it at the bottom of this piece of cardstock that I can't remember the size of. 2 3/4 by 4 inches. And I'm just stamping right here towards the bottom. Okay, so now I'm going to use my jar punch. I'm just going to punch a jar out of the center of this Post-it note. Be careful how far in you put that Post-it note. I had a little bit of a difficulty getting it out because I put it so far in that the sticky part got stuck on it. So just be aware of that. And I'm using a little bit of Tahitian Tide to color the inside of this, just very, very lightly. So I'm going to tap off some of that color on my grid paper here, and then just add it to the center. And I'm just using this to keep ink from getting all over the rest of my card. And tap off most of that ink though, because I want it very, very light. There we go. I like that. Okay, and so that is a super simple way to do the jar. So now I'm going to take just a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to stamp my flowers. I think that piece, yeah, that's big enough. Just going to ink up my flowers really well. Okay, so now I've got my flowers inked. I'm going to use those blends to color my flowers. I'm using the dark Parakeet Party, but all the other blends I'm using the light colors. Okay, now that that is done, I'm just going to use my paper snips and fussy cut around these flowers. Okay, so now for the sentiment, I'm going to grab that medium-sized Just a Note stamp, just a small scrap of basic black cardstock. Just be careful because I am going to be embossing this, heat embossing this. So you want to use some reverse tweezers to hold on to it if you use a piece this small. And just because you don't want to burn your fingers. Okay, so I'm using the Versamark to ink this up. And then I'm using basic white embossing powder. A little bit of extra here. So usually I have a paintbrush. Actually, I say usually I have a paintbrush. I have a paintbrush that I keep over on my counter with all my embossing stuff, but when I'm doing videos, I always emboss at my desk, and I forget most of the time to grab that little, it's a very tiny little paintbrush. Now I just forget to grab it. Okay. So I'm going to heat this up and melt this embossing powder real quick. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to use those paper snips again and just cut around my sentiment. And now let's start putting things together. So I have a piece of 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 inches of Starry Sky cardstock. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use my liquid glue to attach my stamped piece. Okay, no problem. I'm just going to turn that over so that I don't have that glue all over. And I'm going to put it on my mat so I don't end up sticking this to my grid paper. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my Starry Sky twine and I'm going to use a couple of glue dots. One there. One, let's see, one about there. And then I'm going to use that to attach this twine to. Yep, that looks good. Then I'm going to tie a bow just on the bottom of this on the left side. You know what, my air conditioner is loud when I have it on and I'm recording, so I always turn it off right before I start recording. And this time of year, it gets hot pretty quick. It's already gone up 2 degrees, and it just being still, it's very warm. I might have to start recording early in the mornings before it gets too hot. But I'm sleepy early in the mornings, so we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so now I'm just going to take that liquid glue again and lay the flowers over the top of the jar. I didn't put glue all the way to the top. I think my light might be a little too bright. Let's bring it down. There we go. Okay, so I didn't do all the way to the top because a little bit of that is probably going to be, yep, sticking off the top here. There we go. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to attach this to my card base. Remember, we're using that Tea Boutique card base. I say we like you're stamping along with me. I hope that you are. I hope that you are able to make some of these cards yourself. I'm going to use the Starry Sky card base to match the Starry Sky cardstock. And just center it on there as good as you can, and then take that just a note. And I'm just going to cut one of these dimensionals in half. You can also use the mini Stampin' Dimensionals, or even we have black Stampin' Dimensionals, which would be perfect, but I didn't think to grab those ahead of time, so I'm just going to use these. And I'm just going to put this right about here, and it's all done. Alright, so what do you think of this card using the Tea Boutique cards and envelopes and the, that envelope, isn't that pretty? And the Jar of Flowers stamps along with all the end colors. I love it. So some of the other cards that I've made this week with Jar of Flowers, I have this one that I made for a blog hop. I believe this one was Wednesday's card. I love this Daffodil Delight background with this black mat and pool party. So pretty. And then this one I think might be my favorite. This is the first one I did. I did do a video to show you how to do this earlier in the week, and I'll link it at the end of the video today. But I used a little window sheet here to make the jar, and I love the results. I hope you like it too. And then here's a sneak peek. This will be on my blog tomorrow. Very simple and elegant, I think. I hope you think so too. I hope that you like all these cards as much as I do. And I just appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you liked this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. If you don't have a demonstrator already and you're in the US and would like to place an order, I will leave a link in the description so you can do that. All of our kits this month through June 2022, all of the kits are buy one get one half off, which is a great deal. Our kits come with everything that you need except for possibly scissors to create the project that is in that kit. So it's really fun. It's perfect for beginner crafters. It's perfect for crafters on the go. It's great for kids. There is something literally for everybody in our kit shop online. And so if you do decide to place an order, my host code is up here in the corner, and So that's good through the end of June on orders under $150. If you do place an order that's $150, don't use that code, because then you'll be able to get the host code, not the host code, the host rewards yourself, which is always fun. And I think that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Happy stamping.